The UK is hardly known for flashy boxing and an elusive style. Well, that was until Prince Naseem Hamed was born. The man from Sheffield completely changed the featherweight scene in the 90s and early 2000s, with an elusive and fluid style akin to that of legends like Muhammad Ali. Couple this world-class defense with knockout power, and it's clear to see why so many people feared and hated the Prince in his prime. In this video, we'll take a look at Hamed's elusive, dangerous style. Blink and you'll miss the highlights. Hamed versus Vasquez. Naseem took on a dangerous opponent in Wilfredo Vasquez, but was able to use his elusive style and knockout power to secure the TKO win. In round 3, Naseem executed one of the cleanest counters the world has ever seen. After slipping several straight shots thrown by Wilfredo with ease, Naseem came back with his own check left hook. Vasquez didn't see this shot coming and promptly hit the canvas. He was able to get up pretty easily, but it was clear that he had no idea what he was just hit with. Later in the same round, the Prince threw a straight left hand that connected right on the chin of his opponent. Wilfredo tried to counter with his own straight shot, but hit air as Naseem used elusive footwork to dance out of range. In round 6, Naseem scored another beautiful knockdown, this time with a perfectly timed straight left that shattered Vasquez's guard. He managed to return to his feet, but was stopped just a round later after Naseem unloaded a barrage of shots on the chin of Vasquez. This fight was the perfect example of just how good Naseem was in his prime. He could stand in the pocket and use lightning-fast head movement to evade every shot thrown his way before landing his own powerful counters, all the while smiling and dancing. Hamed versus Medina. Medina suffered a similar fate when he stepped into the ring with the Prince. Throughout round 2, Naseem used unorthodox leaping uppercuts to catch Medina off guard before pivoting off to evade countershots. Late into the round, he switched things up and threw a jumping left hook which sent Medina to the canvas. The shot was so loaded that Hamed also fell over. Medina got back to his feet and made it to the end of the round, but from here on out, the gap in skill and power was blatant. In round 4, Medina unloaded on Naseem, throwing a huge combination. But Naseem was too quick and evaded literally every single shot that was thrown. Medina's shock, frustration, and fear were obvious. In round 9, Naseem landed a beautifully timed left cross that caught Medina off balance and sent him straight to the canvas. After getting to his feet, he was dropped again just moments later, this time with a right hand. At this point, it looked like Medina had had enough, and he failed to make the count. Medina was an incredibly skilled fighter, but Naseem was just on another level, and once again his speed and power proved too much for anyone to handle. Hamed versus Badillo. Prince Naseem's superior movement set the tone for this fight as early as round 1. At the start of the round, Badillo threw a sharp right hand aimed at the chin of Hamed, but just like everyone else, he hit air as the Prince was just too elusive. Throughout the rest of the round, Hamed continued to evade Badillo's jabs and land his own off the counter. He even began taunting his opponent by leaving his hands at his sides and dancing out of range. Naseem began to turn up the heat in round 4, putting together combinations that Badillo couldn't deal with. Throughout the round, Naseem landed jabs at will and smashed through Badillo's guard with unorthodox hooks and uppercuts that came from every angle. In round 5, Naseem was so full of confidence that he even began dancing whilst in the clinch. He also clapped his hands together whilst still in range, performed a pretty impressive Ali shuffle, and landed shots at will. Badillo grew ever more frustrated. In round 7, Badillo's corner put an end to the mismatch, throwing in the towel to save their fighter from more punishment. This bout was easily one of Prince Naseem's most impressive. His movement was on another level, and if you've ever seen a Naseem highlights video, there's a good chance most of the clips came from this one fight. Hamed versus Kelly. The Prince's fight with Kevin Kelly was full of bad blood. After the Badillo fight, Naseem told Kelly that he would knock him spark out right in front of his face.
I'm gonna knock him spark out. I'm gonna knock you spark out.
What are you gonna say to that, Kevin?
Relax, baby. You relax.
And guess what? He predicted the outcome of the fight perfectly. Naseem landed big in round 2 with a right hook that sent Kelly to the canvas. Kelly didn't even see the shot coming and was visibly dazed for the remainder of the round. Naseem knocked his rival down again in round 4 with a leaping left hook. This shot put Kelly in a lot more pain than the previous right hook, and he could barely make the count. After getting up, he was put down with the exact same shot just seconds later. This time, Kelly couldn't beat the count. Naseem's bout with Kelly showed that he had the speed, power, and heart of a champion. He was knocked down twice in the fight, but remained composed and used his superior movement to land the counters that would eventually put Kelly down. The commentator summed up Naseem's style perfectly during this fight, saying, "He breaks so many rules of textbook boxing, it's as though he not only hasn't read the book, he hasn't looked at the table of contents." Hamed versus Sanchez. Prince Naseem put an arguably even more impressive display of skill and power in his bout against Augie Sanchez, showing speed, power, skill, and the heart of a lion. Throughout the bout, Naseem used his signature style of unorthodox punches and movement to evade power shots thrown by Sanchez. He did face pressure early on in the fight, being knocked down multiple times. However, as time went on, Naseem's tricky style started to prove too much for Sanchez. In round 4, Naseem unloaded on Sanchez with power shots from all angles. He eventually found the shot that he was looking for, dropping Sanchez late in the round with a perfectly placed right hand. Sanchez was knocked out on the spot and could barely stand on his own 2 feet for minutes after the bout. Ultimately, Prince Naseem Hamed is one of the most unique fighters we have ever seen. Many hated him because he liked to talk the talk and showboated more than he threw punches in many bouts. But, like him or hate him, Hamed's skill is undeniable, and we will probably never see another fighter like him. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the Prince in the comments below, so fire away! Before you go, be sure to jab that like button and give the bell icon a Prince Naseem left hook. We'll see you in the next video, fight fans!